Hello there, my name is Rachel. Let's talk about animation, and today we'll talk about a new anime series from Netflix called Mech Cadets. Now, to describe the whole show, it's sort of between kind of Pacific Rim and Evangelion, but sort of slowed down a little bit to understand how the world sort of works and how this machine sort of select specific people to actually use them because they had to basically fight these sort of giant kind of crab creatures called the shards who must be taken down because the survival of the human race. It's pretty simple, but it's the little things that actually make the show so great because it's one of the shows I highly recommend of out of the gate because it's that interesting, that fun, that good, that dramatic. Because if you like sort of like Gundam sort of series, I recommend. You like kaiju battles, I highly recommend. You like sort of team members becoming as one, understand the flaws, the reason why they joined this sort of organization to defeat the evil bad guy, and done well. I highly recommend watch this series because this show completely delivers everything. Especially how this show is sort of like a mystery of the things, like the mystery of this sort of giant mechs will fall of the sky, ready prepared for battle, but the human race never created it. It just dropped in Earth. Later on, these sort of crack creatures or shards drop also at the same time, and now they have to fight these creatures but don't know what this machine could do or should do. But I love that they even have rules of the machine that they only ask very specific rules. Like one of them had to be a young child under 16. Even that's the only requirement they sort of ask. And they create this academy to train cadets to be accepted by these machines because the machines need to accept the human, not the other way around. The human cannot choose the cadet. And I found this fascinating because they just don't know what they're actually looking for. Like, what these machines want for the cadet. What specific person, like you want a more smarter, more stronger, more wiser, more thinking out of the box. They just don't know. I think one of the characters sort of prove how strange the selection really is because one of them is actually an amputee who doesn't have really a leg. A fake leg still could do the same training like the cadets, but it shows him that the other rest. Something about this character actually forced the machine to choose them, and we don't know why. And that's why this show is so interesting because you have other things like the sharks, the huge kaiju creatures landing on Earth, but they stopped landing as a group. In fact, they started showing they landing before, after by themselves, secretly, and sort of becoming more stronger over the episodes, but they don't know why they changed their tactics. But I love even more, all the characters who join this sort of organization are interesting and relatable, and you understand why they actually joined this organization. Like, I think one of the biggest example, our main lead, Stanford, that he is a very brilliant child who wants to be inside the organization, but he can't because he keeps failing the test. But the kid is sharp. This kid who understand engineering, mathematics, he understand to do the best. I thought he could actually run the whole sector if he wanted to, if he just put himself in charge, push himself to actually do it, but he doesn't. He has so much talent to one specific thing, but he doesn't want it. He wants to be a soldier, a person who writes the mech. And I feel that's sort of fascinating because he wants to do this because his father, he made a promise. He trying to basically accomplish it because that was his father's sort of wish, his death wish. So yeah, you can see why he needs to do this, but his mother sort of doesn't want him to do it because it's so risky. He actually can die, and death is sort of question of this series because it's just too risky. Even in the first episode, he proved himself to actually be accepted. But I love it that the first time he couldn't because all the rules, that he just couldn't be in the line to see if the mech would accept him. It's later on this other giant robot landed while actually being sort of noticed in the organization. Like, what's this sort of strange object from the sky? And Stanford sort of decided also went for it. And he doesn't realize it was actually a mech who actually chose him because he was the only one there. And he sort of questions himself even more. Like, he wanted to be a soldier. He wanted to be the mech inside the machine. He got it. The question is, does he earn it? Does he has the understanding, the talent? Even you understand the rest of the cadets or rest of the team who actually has chosen, has training, understand the capabilities of these machines, and Stanford not really. And that's sort of a weakness because it sort of started to mess with them. Like, if I'm worthy, if I can actually keep up, can I actually help the team? But I love it is his relationship of his friends. Like, you have a good friend who hoping after everything is done, they could have like a own kind of machine shop mechanic to just hang out and work the rest of their miserable lives after they retire doing this sort of machine battle hours. And you just see his reaction say, "No, I always want to be a mech soldier. I die as a mech soldier." And see her friends sort of hurt, like she feels sort of betrayal, but it just developed even more later on. And I think that's what's so interesting because you understand the main lead, not just the main lead, all the cast, specifically the four main members of the group. Like, for example, you have Olivier, who is basically the princess of the academy, that she is the best for a reason because she is drilled to the ground to be flawless. And you realize why. Well, her father is the general of this academy. He expects her to be the best. But Olivia is not one-sided. She pushes herself so much. You realize, yeah, she is the best, but because of this, she doesn't really know how to communicate with the team, how to make the team work as one. And that sort of struggles her because she just doesn't know how to communicate with the other members. Especially, she has her own mech, but like not a normal one. This is a man-human made machine missing sort of things to make it special, but it make it special is Olivier, how extraordinary she really is, while using a sort of kind of like aiding AI helping her. And that's why I found it so fascinating because she struggled to connect to other people or her teammates. You could say that's sort of a metaphor of her Olivier with Stanford because they have different point of views, different upbringings, different how way to move a team and help our team members to become better. And that's what makes it so interesting, especially all the political moves inside the organization. Because there are moments like they find something and they debate about it, like, should we destroy these things or not? Should we betray the other team members to actually help our careers or weaponize these sort of things? And that's what makes the show interesting because if one thing doesn't grab your attention, the other thing will, because it's sort of leaning to it and building the other thing, going back and forth. It's not the team members, or it's the side drama of the team members, of their own friends or family, or it's not that, it's the political moves inside the organization to actually building more. If it's not that, it's sort of the battles. The battles are fun, especially when you go inside the mech sort of kind of position how to control this machinery. This is what I mean with the very beginning. This sort of feels sort of like an Evangelion sort of kind of Pacific Ring because when you inside the machine, you are the machine. That you feel kind of the pain, but it's trying not to be Evangelion or not trying to be Pacific Ring sort of style. It's sort of kind of in between a Gundam, uh, Pacific Ring, and Evangelion. They try to mix all of them and make it something uniquely different. And honestly, it really works. Especially how you just understand all the characters. It's just so well dramatic, so well liked, so much fun that you just enjoy it. But understand, they don't forget the drama. They don't forget the risk. The risk is there, and you enjoy it. It's something I hope that they do get a season 2. Now I have this one question. how you felt about the series. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you enjoy it? Tell me down below. Let me know. Even if you heard about this series, tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.